Welcome to the Pile of Salt podcast. My name is Hank. With me is Ben. We're just talking about stuff we've been doing.
Yeah, the pile was growing. Needed to be depleted.
Got to take out the trash.
Hell yeah, man. Speaking of trash, I see you've been watching Andor.
Andor.
The Wisconsinite is
show
happy.
about Cassian Andor, the prequel show to a prequel movie or midquel movie, I guess.
No, it's prequel. It fits in prequel memes. That's my standard.
It could be midquel.
Nah, there's only sequel and prequel, and yeah. I don't know, man.
What about midquels exist like like Lion King 1.5 or whatever? Is that a midquel?
That's not a midquel. That's a mistake. It's an unnecessary
movie that takes place within a movie.
Ugh. How is it?
Andor?
Yeah,
it's like the best Star Wars thing ever.
Does it have lightsabers?
It does not.
Ooh.
It has nothing
you're wrong
like out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it's the best script of any Star Wars thing. It's the best writing of any Star Wars thing.
Here's the thing. It kind of kills me. Because, I want to fucking like it. That part of me just died. And, in my head, I want it back. But I just don't. The flame went out. I can't rekindle it, man. People are talking about how cinematic it is and how great everything is. Not just you, I see it constantly. Yeah. And I'm just honestly, if there's not just a lightsaber, I don't give a shit. And even then, it needs to be the right lightsaber. I didn't even do Obi-Wan or anything.
I mean, the fact that you didn't do Obi-Wan is a testament to how out you are on Star Wars. Because those are just your guys, if you fucking care about the prequels at all.
I just care about lightsabers, man.
Or Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, I care about parts of. I don't necessarily want to do... I'm not going to watch all of Clone Wars again, but I go back and watch moments and, arcs and stuff.
Sure. I mean, the Clone Wars podcast I've been listening to...
Yeah, where are
fucking
they?
Dropped everything to...
to
do Andor now.
Yeah, that makes
getting
sense.
Hour and a half convos about every episode of Andor.
Jesus. You know what? It's not even
they're pretty close to the end of Clone Wars. They only have I think they're up to season 6.
Oh shit. Yeah, okay.
I didn't listen to their last 2 episodes of Clone Wars because they were adamant that you should watch these episodes. Finally, for the first time.
Amazing.
So I was actually gonna watch them, but I just never got around to it.
Yeah, I could see that for 6, for a lot of shit.
The end of 5.
And yeah, 5.
It was
is where
it was bad, and then suddenly they're oh no, this was actually good.
Yep. It's a slow transition to tolerable, and then in somewhere in 5 it kicks off, and then it's pretty solid, and then 7 just is incredible. It's
the middle of their seasons also are particularly fucking a nadir even in the mid to late era.
Yeah, there's still stuff that it's meh. I think the bigger thing is dude, someone made the perfect joke. It's a fucking Jimmy Neutron meme, and it's Disney, you've shown a Rebel Alliance 7 times in a row. Stop. This is how the Rebel Alliance began. It's I get it. It's a big galaxy. It's a lot of shit popping off. There was a lot of steps to this, but for the love of Christ, any other thing, I don't care about Rebel groups anymore. I liked it a couple of times, but I want other stuff, He says after not watching or doing any of the High Republic stuff either. What do you like about?
I feel like you're out.
Yeah, but I'm still interested.
Here's the thing about Andor, it's just a great sci-fi crime show, and it happens to be in the Star Wars world.
So what's the? I don't actually know. Like, I know that it's about like Rebel Origin-ish stuff. I know that there's no lightsabers. I don't know like anything. Like, what's the pull? What's going on? Like Rogue One, you had them getting the plan, right? That's where they got the plans. Like, what's going on in Andor?
So like the basic setup is like this season is a year in, it's like the turning point year in life of Cassian Andor.
Okay.
And they kind of, and it's so far, it's like through 7 episodes is where I am right now. The first 3 are like a movie, and then the next 3 are like another movie, and then the 7th was like fallout from what happened in the first 3, and they released like the first 3 all at once.
Okay.
And it's kind of just like the thing of, it's.
I've heard people say it's very like, oh, this is what the average Joe was dealing with under the Empire, as opposed to like the heroes.
Well, so that the thing that's good, like the writing is good, so you get a great sense of like the world and what's going on, and it's like cutting back and forth into like people investigating like the people on the Empire side who are shitbags investigating this stuff, and then Cassian like trying to weasel his way out of stuff because he's just like a dirtbag. As of now,
yeah.
And basically so it's the inciting incident is he's like goes into like the like red light district of some city. He like walks across this huge bridge, and he's looking for his sister at this like hostess club, and these 2 security guards there are like talking to him, and like he's getting, because he's hot, he gets like more attention from like the hostess, like comes talk to him before she wants to talk to these fucking shitty security guards, and they get all mad about it. So then when he's leaving, and he like gets no info about his sister, like he gets kind of like told off, like people don't use their fucking real names here, what are you talking about? These security guards come to harass him, and like there's a scuffle, and one of them just ends up dead, like just like falls over and is dead. And then he like thinks for a moment and then just shoots the other guy, like sunk cost fallacy. And that's like that's like when I'm like, okay, this show's good. Because our hero just fucking killed that guy. Because why not at this point? He's already fucked. So then he's in trouble because like he's like got to get out of town because he killed these 2 guys.
Obviously, yeah.
And then we like cut to the other side of like the like, you know, the office of the security detail, and this one guy is like, oh, we had 2 men dead, we gotta go after this. And his boss is like dressing him down, like saying, you tailored your suit, didn't you? You made it look fancier. And his boss is like, fucking this didn't happen. Like, this is only gonna like the one guy, like, he's like, these are the laws, we have to go after this guy. And the other guy's like, no, we don't. Those guys shouldn't have been there. I personally knew one of them. He sucked. This is more paperwork for us. We're just gonna like make up a story about how they died doing something heroic. Fucking leave it off. I gotta go to a meeting. Fucking don't put your feet on my desk. And then this guy just like, once that his boss is gone, he like just decides to go after Cassian anyway. And like he's like being a real dick about it. And like then he like meets this other guy who's like leading the military squad, who's like, yeah, we got to bring some fucking order. There are people who would just look past this. They're like they're a private security firm, so they're not really part of the Empire, but they're like working for it. But they like really fucking want to be fascists.
I mean, yeah.
So that's the squad that's like actually coming after Andor. Well, he's like trying to like scrounge up money to get out of here. He's like got some big prize that he's got to like sell to like be able to disappear.
Yeah.
And he's got like his ex-girlfriend or whatever knows a guy who's like who has the money to buy it off him, and he's like trying to, so he like goes around, talks to all the like people he knows that he owes money to all of, and like tries to like square away shit, and is just like being a dirtbag and trying to get this one last thing. He has a great droid, and he's like
naturally,
who's like always who's it's like his mom's droid, but it's like old and low on power, and he's like, all right, and he's just not, and can you tell a lie? And droid's like, yes, I have sufficient power to tell a lie. And he's like, okay, you never saw me here, and I forget what the other, it's like he phrases it with two parts, and the droid's like, that's two lies. Like, he doesn't have enough power to tell two separate lies. That was the other moment. I'm like, okay, this show's great.
That's pretty good.
We also get like stuff in these first three of like Cassian's backstory of like living among this like Lost Boys tribe of kids who like speak their own language that doesn't get translated, and they're like leftovers on this mining colony that's abandoned, where presumably like all the adults died.
Great.
And then like a ship crashes there, and that's how he ends up being like taken away, because because like the Republic or Empire is going to show up and like kill everyone that's here. So he kind of gets like taken away from his people, but also like saved by his like adoptive mom. It's like extremely the vibes of that like archaeologist dude in Turn A, and his like son who like he like stole as a baby or whatever. He just found and raised.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Like well-meaning white person that just took someone away from their fucking people.
Yeah.
So that's all fucking interlaid. And then like the guy he's like eventually like getting the meeting with to sell this turns out to be this guy Luthen, who fucking knows everything about Cassian and isn't even really there to buy this thing that Cassian stole. He's like really just wants to hire Cassian for the rebellion, because he's like, fucking, if you stole this thing, I need your skills for something else more than anything.
Who's the Luthen?
And like there's this what? Luthen.
Oh, Jesus. What's his name? Oh, his name is Luthen.
Yeah, it's Stellan Skarsgård's character.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it doesn't. You wouldn't.
You don't know what I know.
Sure.
I got it confused with a species in Star Wars.
So like, so anyway. There's like, so as he shows up, that's when like these fucking security guys show up into town, and they're like, and like Cassian gets ratted out by like the new boyfriend of the girl he's been talking to, just because that guy's fucking is like completely jealous and a shitbag. And that guy just ends up getting like casually murdered by the security guys because he's like just like talking back to them. I don't know. It's just and then a lot happens, and then like there's this whole thing. The security like group that's coming after him, like they just like a lot of them get blown up and die during the escape, and that guy's career is fucking ruined. Like their whole security outfit gets like shut down by Imperials who just take it over afterwards. Nice. And then Luthen's like the plan for Cassian now. Like he doesn't even get away with the thing he was trying to sell. Like he gets lost and left behind. Like that's just that thing's just gone. But then the next thing is Luthens has this plan to steal the entire payroll for a sector of the Empire, and he needs Cassian's help. He needs Cassian to join this mission. So like the next 3 episodes are a fucking heist. Just like
Oh hell yeah.
raid this Imperial base and just steal like all their like a shit ton of credits. And that shit just also rules. Like that's just a 3 episode build, like 2 episodes of build up and then a heist episode that's just fucking tremendous. Like it's just fucking great. And then like, you know, they're trying to get away and fucking TIE fighters show up and it's like the scariest TIE fighters have been in fucking forever. Cuz like then once they then reintroduce like Star Wars elements, cuz like it's like it hits that much harder cuz you haven't seen it in like 6 episodes and you've been dealing with like a lower level of dude. Like they start bringing up stormtroopers and like it's like stormtroopers. They're like scary. They're not like the general joke because you have like your comparison is like more normal people.
Yeah.
Just shitty Imperials or wannabe Imperials even. And like the guy who like fucked up and led the mission to try and like fucking track down Andor. Like we're still following him. He like has to move back in with his mom who's like really fucking talks down to him all the time and he's like sitting in this sad apartment on Coruscant that gets like sunlight for like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
He just sits in his room, look for like a beam of light.
Yeah, that's
and like that's still building back up. It's just like extremely well written and like cares about characters. It's like and it's like dealing with stuff happening at all levels. It's like the fucking Wire of Star Wars. I don't know. It's fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm
glad
Tony
it's
Gilroy
good.
is just a good writer in a way that, and it's like striking because I thought Rogue One's script is fucking trash. Which it's like, you know, because of all the mess that production was.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of amazing to watch a Star Wars thing that's just like well written and like thoughtful about all the elements and like showing you a bunch of stuff happening and it just keeps rolling. Like, this first season is a year in Cassian Andor's life, and season 2 is going to be like the next 10 years of his life. And then that's it. Because then he's in Rogue One and he dies. Like, I listened to an interview with Tony Gilroy. He's like, yeah, the fact that the starting point for this is everyone dies at the end. That's great. It means I'm freed from having to care about some stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
He just sounded like he had a lot of fun making it. And like it's like a singular vision kind of thing, even though like, you know, there are other writers, but like his brother wrote like some of the episodes, like it's edited by another one of his brothers or something. Just like there's like a cohesion to it. It feels the fact they shot it in actual locations, like places in the world. Like they're in a field, they're in an actual field. So the lighting, everything just looks way better than the Star Wars stuff has looked. Like, particularly Obi-Wan and Book of Boba Fett were fucking pushing it on that stuff.
Yeah, I heard some of that
looking
a bit rough.
Looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. Their fucking CGI room is like really cool tech, and it's good for certain things, and they relied on it way too heavily.
Yeah,
they've gone too hard. And Disney, like in general, like particularly with the Marvel stuff, they just have abused CGI in a way of like making no decisions about what their show is going to be or movie until very late, which is why the CG doesn't look as good as it could, like why all these studios are overworked is because they just have them making stuff and then like throwing it away because they can.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to because they have like 20 people making all the choices and they can't decide. They don't want to decide until last minute or whatever. Whereas this is just like, yeah, dude had an idea and they're just doing it. Like the pitch for this show was like, he said he wasn't going to do it. And then they hired some other writer to write a thing. And then he like wrote an email back to them saying, this is what you shouldn't do this. And if you were going to do something, you should do this. And then they paid him to make it. He was like, he didn't think he would ever get to make the show he wanted to because he didn't think that Disney would pay enough for it.
That's wild.
And they did.
That he actually got to.
And then there's a sizable chunk of the Star Wars audience that doesn't like this because it's boring and talky.
I mean,
or it doesn't have lightsabers.
That's the wrong reason why not to like. I was thinking while you were talking, it's not even the lightsabers. I just don't give a fuck about this era. Push it forward or go far enough back that Yoda isn't alive. Do one or the other. I don't care which. Or do a Visions thing where it's just random shit that's fun, I guess. But I'm glad that it's I'm glad that it's good. Like, I don't like bad. When there's so much content coming out, I don't like it. I don't want it to be bad, obviously. I still like Star Wars. I want something to come along that makes me go like, holy shit, I gotta watch this. But
I actually think, this is good. And then I was like, the fact that its approach to the start of the Rebels is like these people trying to get the money to really set up this terrorist network that they're trying to get going. And we get it scenes with Mon Mothma having covert meetings with Luthen, talking about her trying to get her money.
So
yeah, I haven't even talked about the scenes of Mon Mothma and her shit husband and her shit daughter that she has to pretend to just be just a liberal idiot and not a person who's starting a terrorist organization.
I think see, I don't know about other, obviously there are people who will take in every bit of content and they're gonna love all of it. I think doing some of the other shit, I've done Clone Wars, I've done Rebels, I read some of the novels, including the Ahsoka novel. There's so many Rebel starts, dude. There's so many of them in all the other shit. Mm-hmm. And if you're not reading, if you're only watching stuff, because a lot of, I'm sure probably the majority of people are only watching stuff, right? They're not going out and getting the comics and stuff. You haven't seen that many, but there's so fucking much of it there. And then there's there's the origin of the Rebels, and there's the origin of the people that were the origin of the Rebels. And it's just it's a lot. It's a lot. It's all kind of samey.
You burned out.
You
went too deep.
I didn't even go that deep. I was getting ready. I got so many of those novels and I just didn't read them because I'm I can't do another. I want the other shit. I don't care about the Sidious and Tarkin.
I mean, but that's the thing. It's this isn't just this is actually a great television show. It happens to be Star Wars. It's just a great TV show.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So it's it's a whole different level of thing.
Now, if only they could do that, but tossing a lightsaber. Not in the Rogue One way either. That doesn't count. It was cool, but it doesn't count. I'm glad it's good though. That's cool. Good shit is nice.
Yeah, I've just been having a great time.
Hell yeah.
They did heist movie. It was a fun heist.
Heist is
and it just happened.
Heist is, if I ever watch it, it'll probably be because now I know there's a heist. I do like a good heist. That's a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just good.
So I wanted to I'll switch to my only thing that I think isn't good. Mm-hmm. And that's Rings of Power. I actually wasn't going to talk about it, but I had a revelation that made it swing back in to my consciousness.
Sure. I've had House of the Dragon and Rings of Power ready to go, and I just
yeah. Anya's been destroying House of the Dragon. She's hyper up to date on that shit. the Russian dub though. So I don't. Apparently, they still got that dub, which is wild. Like the only content they got. But no, I did the first. We watched the first episode of Rings of Power, and so it was like super early impressions. But even then, I knew a lot going in, right? Like they don't have access to the first age stuff. They're making Galadriel more of a character, like she's the focus. As far as I know, she remains that way throughout the show. And there's a lot of liberties that have to be taken, and they're making it more processable for a modern television audience and all that shit. And I still couldn't pick a thing that like truly is why I didn't have a great time. And someone pointed it out a while back, and I read this whole little mini article that was in a Reddit comment. And I'm like, that's it. That's the thing. They're making it like not a mystery, but like they're adding all these elements of like, ooh, who is this guy? What's going to happen with this? Ooh, what's going to happen here? And like, that's not how it is at all, because it's Tolkien, right? Like he's just like, this thing happened, and then this person who appeared who was actually this, and then this thing happened, and like,
Yeah.
I think that like thinking about it, that's just really what turned me off of it. I'm not here for like who is this mysterious person? I just, like, tell me the story. It's a good story. It can stand on its own.
No.
Very.
I mean, the mystery box thing is like such a crutch of
mystery
like
box.
high,
that was the term.
Of TV, like fucking making TV shows for Reddit is like a thing of, you know, this era of TV that I don't like.
Yeah, it was really annoying. I'm like, because in the first episode ends with a dude falling from the sky or whatever, and it's like, ooh, who is he? And of course, this is a whole thread throughout the thing. I don't even know if you know by the end of the season. I haven't looked it up or anything.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, like that shit would have been immediately told. Like we would have gotten his name in the first line and everything if it was in writing. And that's just I'm not a fan of that. Like I think maybe if it was dropped as a batch, it would maybe be more tolerable to me in this case. Because like
looking from the outside, it doesn't seem like it's actually a mystery though. Like that, they're not explicit about it, but it seems like everybody fucking figured it out. So I don't know.
Who is it? I mean, like, who did everybody figure it to be? My call was Gandalf, because God forbid we don't have a fucking character that people know.
Well, I think it's a Sauron. There's a Sauron reveal.
Yeah, okay.
It's the only thing I know.
That makes sense. And see, they had to make up a new name for him because everybody already knows the old name, right? Like his old fake name.
Sure.
That sort of thing. Like that's just whatever. I mean, a lot of people seem to like it, and I will give it. It's all like very CGI stuff. I did not like the writing, but it's a very pretty show. Like they had a lot of killer scenes, like super. I mean,
it's very
CGI.
expensive.
Super, yeah. So I'll give it that. Like it looked fucking cool. I'm not watching.
I feel like I've heard better things about Rings of Power than House of the Dragon.
Really? I've complete opposite as far as Reddit's concerned anyway. Which is like the only place I see things.
Sure.
I guess the only other like Anya has not had like any, she hasn't read the books or anything. I think she watched the films, but she has like she doesn't give a shit about the lore or the past stuff. She also did not enjoy it. I think mostly just the writing was too hammy. We both agreed that the elves don't look elvish. Nothing to do with skin color, mostly to do with the fact that they all got like crew cuts, fades, and like just why are we rocking like
I wonder if you would prefer the style. Well, because the complaint I've heard about House of the Dragon was that it's like a Wikipedia article as a TV show. And I wonder if you would just like Rings of Power more if that's what it was.
I mean, maybe. Like, just give me the shit. I just want to see the shit play out that I'm familiar with, you know?
I kind of
who
don't.
knows? Like, it depends on the thing. For that thing, I would have been interested. It looks good enough that if it was doing the cool things, it'd be cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I just want the thing to be
better.
a good thing. I don't care that much about getting it right unless it's bad, and then like I'll go into complaints about what they could be doing instead.
The other problem is that we've been watching
my general thing with the Marvel stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, the other problem is like I'm doing this podcast, doing a lot of great content. Like the standards get higher.
Oh yeah.
I can't go into Rings of Power after watching fucking Our Flag Means Death. Like, I'll be bored. I'm just bored now. There's too much good shit. We watched Ultraman. Everything's boring now. It's all slow and shitty.
True.
Yeah, I mean, you could if you want to bounce off of that. Otherwise, I can slide into other show shit, I guess.
I'll talk about the one thing I did that I didn't like.
Oh yeah, do it.
Let's get our shitting on stuff.
Yeah.
So I watched the first episode. So first I watched the first episode of Chainsaw Man, the anime, because that's like the big new shonen anime thing.
Oh, I've seen it extensively around.
And the first, so I read, I got convinced to read a shorter, like a one shot manga by the mangaka who does Chainsaw Man called Goodbye Eri, and that was it was pretty good. I'm not as high on it as some people, but I liked it, and the art is really good. So I read the first volume of Chainsaw Man, and it looks really good. I don't like how fast the main character goes from I wish I could eat to, well, then that problem's solved, and now all he cares about is like grabbing boobs. I preferred it when like hunger was his motivating thing. Personally,
I'm fucking shocked. You prefer the hunger over the titty grabbing. That's from you. Would have never guessed.
It's like, I haven't even been able to cop a feel yet. I think that's how the trailer ends for that anime.
Oh my god.
But the thing, like, you know, he gets a chainsaw head, and like they're fucking. There's a Venom-esque style to it. So I was into the art, so I just really wanted to watch the anime for that action to be good. And then I watched the anime, and when they got to the action part where he's Chainsaw Man, it switches to CG, and I fucking hate it. It looks fucking terrible. I'm like, man, you fucking
got him.
Man, this is like the big, super popular anime, and you're just gonna like CG it and not even like redraw. And like, this is like, obviously I hate CG anime. I'm on the record.
Oh, extensively.
But the new Dragon Ball movie is CG anime, and it looks fucking gorgeous because they redrew enough over the CG to make it look like Dragon Ball.
That's funny. Oh,
like man. you can do it. You can make the CG look fucking beautiful. You just have to put in that extra work, and because it's a TV show, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like extra hard because now I have an example of like they finally fucking like did it in a way that looks good. Like they made a completely CGI Dragon Ball movie, and it actually looks really good. Because they redrew over it to fix the fact that like if you just took CG models, they're never gonna look like Dragon Ball properly.
Yeah.
Because Toriyama doesn't draw that way. Like, you're always gonna have problems. Like Goku's hair is never gonna. It's just a problem in CG because Toriyama just would always draw it the same no matter what fucking angle it is, basically. So it's kind of a nightmare. So there's hair stuff, but that's why they made Piccolo the main character of the movie.
That's actually fucking incredible.
Problem solved.
Amazing.
So I was just really disappointed because, like, the parts where they're just drawing panels from the manga, that show looks good. Like, adding all this fucking post effects stuff that anime does these days on top of it, like, for the color or whatever. But, and, like, the drawings are good, but then the action happened, and it was so fucking disappointing. I was so mad. I was like, this anime just kind of looks like shit.
That's unfortunate, but also I find it funny. You get fucking baited and then boom, CG.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like an opportunity to maybe like a thing that people can't shut up about.
Yeah.
And is popular. And then I watched it. I was like, no, this is bad, actually. There are plenty of good elements here, but not for me.
Yeah.
Like, his little chainsaw dog is very cute. Chainsaw demon dog. But then it's, like, kind of gone. Because, like, he gets chopped up into bits. And it, like, sacrifices itself to, like, heal him. And that's how he becomes Chainsaw Man. But it's, like, also, like, kind of inside him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Well.
But that as a character, it's not around anymore.
Yeah.
But, like, it has, like, it's like a little dog with, like, a chainsaw face in its face. And its tail is, like, the thing to rev it.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he has, like, the little thing to rev it is, like, sticking out of his chest. Because the demon dog, like, sacrificed itself and, like, to, like, heal him or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he got chopped up into little bits.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I don't have anything else that I'm like that's negative. I guess the closest thing I checked out Abbott Elementary, which is a live action, and it is a the term is fucking leaving me because I never talk about it. Public access. It's just on, like, is it ABC or CBS? It's just public network television.
That's network.
Public access network.
Television.
It's all fucking going down the drain anyway. And people said it's people said it's actually good. They're like, this is kind of crazy, like that, because everything you hear about nowadays is on a streaming platform. And I'm like, okay, it's about like the Abbott Elementary School in, I want to say, Philadelphia. And just like it's poking at the shit that teachers deal with. So I really appreciated it for that. Like, there's just, like, just constant bits about, like, not even necessarily spoken bits, but like, yeah, no, the teachers need more fucking money. And then the people making the financial decisions just are pissing all over everything, right? So, like, I appreciated that. I think it's pretty solid, but the writing was a little, like, on the nose at some spots for me.
Sure.
Like, at the, like, very, almost like a kid show. Like, we're ending the episode, we're wrapping up, we need to have, like, our moral with, like, a monologue and, like, a bit of music to drive it home. And it's fine. Nothing that they say is wrong. Like, I agree with the message and all that, but it's just, like, it's a little meh. But otherwise it's fine. Like, if someone, if like Ani was super into it, she also thought it was, like, just fine. If she wanted to watch it, I'd be like, yeah, okay, we can put it on. Oh, no problems here. The characters are fun. I really like the characters and stuff. There's some
that's the thing that matters for that kind of TV show, is do you like these characters? Do you just, every week, if you're sitting down to watch TV and you're just going to hang out with these people?
Yeah.
That's what those shows live and die on.
And I was thinking, like, I mean, we were just kind of watching it back to back. Like, it might have been a case where, like, watching it weekly would be the way to go. But who has time for that shit? Who has self-control for that shit?
Who is the rhythms of watching a show every week?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I
watch Andor every week.
I would recommend it.
3 a.m.
Yeah, I would. If people have heard of it, if they've heard of Abbott Elementary and they're like, oh, should I check it out? I would recommend it. I would recommend giving it a 1 or 2 episodes maybe. It's solid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that all. I think they're the second season is like starting or has started. Will start soon. I don't know that I'm gonna check that out. Unless I'm in a hell of a dry spell, but that's mostly because there's just so much other. I got all this Dragon Ball left. Like there's a bunch of Dragon Ball shit to do still. So
much Dragon Ball.
There's like a lot of Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Yeah. So with me and I watched Chainsaw Man. I was like, wow, I just wanted a thing that looked good, and this wasn't it. And then I saw someone on Twitter posted just the opening for the new Urusei Yatsura anime, which is the second go at an older anime based on a manga from late 70s, early 80s. And that show just looks fucking gorgeous. Just fucking color everywhere.
That opening was very solid. It gave
just
me
looks really good.
It almost gave me like kind of Promare vibes.
Sure. Because and like, so I had when I was been doing my looking at old anime and old manga thing this year, and I did your Urusei Yatsura. It's I forget her name, but it's the mangaka who then went on to do Ranma 1/2 and Inuyasha and Rinne.
Oh
this
shit!
This was her
Okay.
her first thing. So, the thing is, it's like it is a gag manga thing about where the main character is just a shitty horny dude. So when I like first read it, I was like, this is really good. Not what I'm in the mood for to just follow this story about this guy who sucks. But the titular character Urusei Yatsura is kind of like the thing that like takes over the book, like because she's just weird, like just the best. She just rules. And like the original anime, in terms of framing, like it frames it as like a love triangle thing between the dude, his main girlfriend, and Urusei Yatsura. Whereas the new anime, it's like just the overwhelming, crushing power of and presence of Urusei Yatsura herself. And that's more what I'm into. And I think what like the series like slowly more becomes, even though it's like more and more characters get introduced. I just didn't get deep enough into it because it's it's pretty sitcom-y in terms of like a thing happens and then it ends on a joke and then we move on.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like wide, like big sci-fi thing, like is happening, like alien invasion, joke, we're done. So, but like the main character, Alum is her name, is the main character. So just the way the anime frames it. A new anime that maybe like can soften out some edges on some stuff in like a modern way that's like appealing to me, and it just fucking looks really good. So again, it's like the first story is like the guy has to win a game of tag against Lum, or the Earth is gonna be enslaved by these ogre aliens. And if he's like, all right, just have to grab this girl, that's easy. And then he finds out she can fly, and it's like, oh no, I'm fucked. And like he eventually like gets her by like pulling off her bra, and then she's like has to like cover up, and then he can grab her. Is like the first story of that comic. In case you're wondering like what kind of comedy we're dealing with. But it's fun. I'm like and like knowing like what kind of silly comedy it is, and like that it's modern. Like it just kind of hit me correctly.
Yeah.
And because there's a thing right at the beginning of the opening where it's just like showing a lot of like kind of manga style black and white, but like GIF animated of just Lum doing expressions, and like just very good. I just really like it. So that's fun.
Nice. I mean, that actually sounds like. I mean, I didn't really have any interest, but you describing it like that sounds cooler. Than,
Yeah,
it sounds more fun
like
than what I was
it's
thinking.
it's it's a comedy about people who suck. But
yeah, sure. I mean, I like
sometimes that's fun. I wasn't in the mood for that earlier in the year, but I'm more open to it currently. So
yeah, dude,
and it just it filled that hole of just fucking looking good. Like it just like the colors and the animation, like that it uses CG in extremely sparing and smart ways of like, yeah, there's a spaceship here for like one shot. We can that can be CG. It's fine. But like the characters are all animated with more traditional style and just I really like what they do with like the color in her hair too. It just looks really cool.
Dude, her hair color in the intro even was like, that's the draw, honestly.
Yeah. No, and like that's the thing. That's the thing of it as a property to me is like Lum is fucking amazing. What a great comedy character. But the main character is this dude who just sucks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean,
and it's just gonna like, but like then it's just gonna introduce like lots of other girls over time, basically.
Sure.
Lots of weirdos who are all gonna be terrible in their own way. So,
weirdos. I mean, waifus. It's all just waifus and husbandos.
It's kind of, but again, it's still the series about the crushing, overwhelming power of love. So they're not going to be like such waifus, and like the fact that it's a series written by a woman, so it's like the perspective is a little different.
That when I watched it, I was like, knowing that it's created by a woman, like that helps a lot. That helps a lot. Because I'm not I don't really need horny anime,
Yeah. It's horny for jokes.
Horny
it's not
for
like
jokes is fine.
Yeah. It's not horny in the way Chainsaw Man is horny.
Chainsaw Man seemed like super horny from the bits I've taken in.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man is like, dude wants to be stepped on horny though, at least.
Oh. Oh, you didn't mention. Maybe I need to watch it. Does he want to get stepped on by a tree?
It just more like he wants to be treated like a dog.
Oh no, I'm not into that. You want to I don't.
It's more than that.
I don't want to be treated like a dog, but if you want to timber on me,
it's not that kind of stepped on. It's sub in a slightly different way. He wants to be able to grab boobs, and he wants to be treated like a dog.
Oh no, I'm not like that. That's not my style.
Fair enough. It wasn't the appeal of the series to me either, so it's just predominant.
Yeah, I'm fucking shocked.
Yeah, I just wanted to see him like fucking chop zombies up.
Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds
cool.
more like your shtick.
The hyper violence I was into. It just
I
would rather read the manga because those drawings are good.
Yeah.
Whereas the CG looks bad. But yeah. So Urusei Yatsura, I've only watched literally one episode. There are two out so far, and it's gonna be like they're gonna be like a lot of them. They're making a lot. The episode order is like 50 or something. I don't remember the exact number.
Keeping up with something.
And it's just like this show just gets to be in my life for like over the next year. I'm just like every week check in. That sounds like a good time.
I mean, maybe
because also it's not like an ongoing plot series, so
Yeah, that would help.
so it's not a thing to binge really.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
It's not like
maybe
I'm
I'll
waiting
check it
for
out.
the big fight to happen.
Maybe we'll do a little series on it. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Anyway,
Have you heard of?
do you have any other things you watched?
Yeah, I got two. One of them
Okay.
I'll gloss over, and the other one is
Okay.
more topical. Have you heard of Inside Job?
The
Not the
Spike
movie.
Lee movie.
Not the movie.
Spike Lee
I should
joint?
have phrased. Have you heard of the animated Netflix original Inside Job?
I know. I don't.
Oh,
I don't parlay in Netflix originals
I don't know
anymore.
what you take in ambiently. Maybe someone on Twitter posted a cat picture and then said watching Inside Job, the Netflix original animated series. I don't know.
Fair enough.
It honestly looked like a Rick and Morty wannabe, and
Dude, there's so many of those now.
yeah, and I never gave it a second look, like fucking in the slightest, because why the hell
Like,
would
there's
I?
a Star Trek Rick and Morty wannabe that I've heard nothing but fucking good things about, and like one of my favorite comic book writers, Ryan North, who did the Adventure Time comic, is now doing the comic for it.
Oh, interesting.
And I still kind of can't fucking deal with the style of characters that they drew at the moment. I haven't dived in.
Yeah, I know. I forget the name of it. I know the one you're talking about. I've also have seen good things.
Lower Decks.
Lower Decks. I was gonna say Under the Deck or Under Deck or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Inside Job is in that same vein. I didn't give it a second thought. Saw it at some point, or saw something, or saw a scene finally, and I was like, "Is this actually like good? Like this scene is pretty solid, but like, what's the deal?" And everybody on Reddit was like, "Oh, just like it's not amazing. It's not like it's gonna blow your mind, but like it's really solid. Like you just got to get past like the first episode is a little meh, and then it finds its footing and it's very good." I'm like, "All right, I'll bite." I had a pretty solid time. It was better than maybe because my expectations were so low.
Sure.
The concept, maybe this is definitely not for you. The concept is that like imagine if every conspiracy was real. Imagine if it was all just an organization like doing this shit. And it manages to be like take that route while also like making fun of the idea that any of this could ever be fucking real. So that's good. But yeah, like solid writing, decent characters, didn't fucking annoy me at any point until the end did some like character stuff that I'm just it was kind of up there with the Voltron thing we watched where I'm like, that's cool, I'm out. Like I'm probably not
Sure.
gonna watch the second season of this. I just didn't need whatever dynamic they were doing. But yeah, I can recommend it. I can recommend it on a watch. I don't know to you, but like someone with less standards maybe.
No, when you combine the phrases inside job and conspiracies, I'm kind of out.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like as soon as I
I
had
have
no idea,
trauma.
I had no idea what the fucking true concept of it was, and then as soon as they lead off with that, I'm like, ooh, Hank's not gonna watch this.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So that was, and it was, I forget how many episodes, like 10 or something. It was, I like watched it in a night or whatever, just binged. The anime thing that I did that was just kind of what I needed was Spy Family or Spy X Family, depending on your preference, I suppose. I don't know what the official
Spy
one is.
Cross Family.
Ugh. Spy Times Family? Spy by Family? Spy Multiplication Family? It was cute. I watched the first episode with Anya and I was like, it's okay. I'm not going to follow it up. And then, I don't know. Something just hit and I was like, I really just want like a cute thing. And so
Sure.
I watched it and it's just fucking cute. It's really, really adorable.
Sure.
So, yeah, that was like my surprise anime binge that I was not expecting. Just a dude who's a spy, and he's a fake family, accidentally finds a girl who he doesn't know is like a super assassin, and she just wanted a boyfriend to shut her family up, and they came into a mutual agreement, and he had already adopted a girl that he didn't know was a telepath. So it's like this little girl knowing that her dad is a spy and her mom is an assassin, and like thinking it's super cool, but doesn't want them to know because she's afraid they'll like get rid of her or whatever. So she's like watching spy shows, and she's like pretending to be a spy, and she's like, oh no, I have to be good so like dad can pass his mission. And meanwhile, the dad's like, what the hell is she doing? What's going on here? And she's like, no, we have to, I forget what she says. She's like, she has to go into like school and pass all the, be a good student to get the dad closer to this dude. And she keeps like using spy terms. She's like, we have to complete the mission. He's like, yeah, you got to pass your exam. It's just very good. It's a solid thing.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, the girl's name is Anya, so that's like,
Oh.
Yeah. She got pink hair, though, so that's different. Also, Anya, well, she might be a telepath. I don't have proof that she isn't, I suppose.
Fair enough.
I shouldn't make any absolute statements one way or the other. But yeah, Spy Family, very good if you want a cute thing. And a familial thing.
All right, I have one more anime to talk about.
Is it Gundam?
It is Gundam.
Hell yeah. I've been curious.
It's
I've been
new
looking
Gundam.
at it. Yeah.
So there hasn't been like a new, like real, there's been some like spin-off stuff, but there hasn't been like a mainline Gundam show in a while. And this is, as far as I can tell so far, it's what if Gundam were Utena? In that the main character is a girl who attends a school where you duel, and then if you win the duel, you get the right to marry this girl.
Bruh. Bruh. I think I remember you saying that, and I was like, am I going to fucking watch another Gundam thing? Like, I was ready. I was just fucking ready. So how is it?
I won't make you. I won't make you watch it unless they kiss, and they haven't kissed yet. So that's what I'm waiting for. That's what I sent up the flare.
Yeah, I was
Is
gonna
what
say
they
you
kiss.
just have a big fucking red button on your desk that like sends out a macro that just says it's go time to me in all caps.
And like I kind of don't have any thoughts on it beyond that yet. Like I kind of can't get beyond how fucking funny I find that to like evaluate it properly.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Even-
great though. That's all.
Because they're like there's some political stuff coming on. It's got this weird thing where like Gundams were outlawed. So like they keep talking about how is her mecha Gundam? The Gundams are illegal, and they're saying, and like her mom who made it is like, no, it's not a Gundam, and I'm like, looks like a fucking Gundam to me.
It's not
Calls
why
it
would it be a
Ariel.
Gundam? Those
It's
are
like a
illegal.
name. She just beat like the main dude for the second time.
Oh,
She had
hell
to beat
yeah.
him, and then like they're like, no, she won with a Gundam. That's cheating. And like, all right, redo. And then she beat him a second time, and then he immediately was like, marry me. That's how the last episode I watched ended.
Is it ongoing?
Yeah.
Or is it, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
We're like,
I don't know.
they're like 3 episodes out so far. It's like extremely early. Also,
Ugh, all these things.
well,
are
there's
in the middle of-
technically there are 4 episodes because they put out like a prequel episode like a while ago that I was sitting on, and I didn't watch until after I'd watched episode 1. When like the main character is like a really little kid. and
And
kind of sets
then,
up some of
like-
the like world building and plot stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then episode
or-
1 is like, actually about her as like a character.
Yeah, I know how the prequel episode goes. Like her parents are in a coffin. Like a prince comes and saves her.
No.
I
No,
know
the
how
first
it is.
episode is when her dad dies.
Great.
Weirdly, her mom is still alive. She has a robot arm.
Hell yeah.
She wears a creepy mask in public.
I mean, that sound it sounds fucking interesting. Like I'm immediately
And
interested.
like it also has a thing of the like I've seen go wrong for me in shows before where the main character is like shy and has social anxiety and like trouble like speaking to like fumbles over her words and stuff.
yeah.
And like that shit can just like it's less like hit too close to home for me and like be I can't deal with this character or whatever. But it's been fine. They haven't pushed it so far that I can't fucking deal with it.
Yeah. I get a little bit that way for different reasons. It's more just I don't want to watch someone do that in a show, I guess, or read about it. Mostly because I've encountered it a few times where like it's framed as a thing that they are going to improve on, and then they just never do. Like, wow, I'm gonna become better, and then they don't. And I'm like, I read 50 volumes. I thought you would get better. You didn't.
Yeah.
But
And just like I like seeing characters interact, and a character that like struggles that much out of like a basic level to interact with the people they want to interact with can just get frustrating in a way that I don't want from my fiction, even though that's like an actual thing. And like I was definitely a shy kid and had those same problems, so like I also like relate. It like hits me, and I'm like I can't. Nope. Don't want this. This is just nightmare.
Yeah.
But and so like the dynamic is also completely different from because like the girl who's like dad has decided that she will marry whoever's the top duelist. She's like way more of the direct one and the one who like wants to get out from the under the thumb of her dad. Mm-hmm. Is like pushing the main character forward in certain ways and stuff.
Nice.
And is not embarrassed about the idea of them getting married, whereas the main character is. Like,
I mean,
fine.
I'm there for it. I'm here for that shit.
Look, I'm just waiting for them to kiss, and then it's fucking all go. But it hasn't happened yet. I'm just like really, really surprised they would make a Gundam this gay.
Yeah, that's wild.
They finally let a girl in the Gundam, though, to be like the main character of the Gundam. Like even on that level is good, and then they went the extra mile. I don't know.
I mean, maybe 2 weekly shows. Me. Who knows?
And the guy who's like the main writer on it, he did the Gundam he worked on. I think he worked on Turn A. He wrote 8th MS Team, which is it's like the Romeo and Juliet Gundam that I like. And he wrote the Utena novelization.
Oh. Yeah, that'd do it.
And he created this other mech show that I love, but is also like fucked up in certain ways. Code Geass.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So there's that. I'm looking forward to seeing where that thing goes.
Yeah, it's interesting. I might have to do that. It sounds
again,
too
it's like
fucking good to
it's
pass
such a
up.
different look for Gundam.
Yeah.
But it's still like so like doing this stuff while also sort of building some of that's kind of like political stuff in the background. It's like intriguing, but I have to see where it goes.
Yeah.
On that level. And that's like the anime I've been watching.
Nice. Oh, I mean that shit sound. I
Like,
mean,
it's fucking weird. Like, I haven't watched new anime as it's coming out in so long.
I was gonna say like this is what's nice about watching anime from like fucking 90s. You know, it's just done.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it's not ongoing.
Yeah.
I've been playing some stuff.
Sure.
I'm gonna like speed run some of this because we're at like an
I have
hour
one
and
video
it's-
game thing to talk about. But.
So I dove back into Siralim Ultimate, and I continue to feel like I didn't know. It's like that time when I was like, "Hey, do you guys want to do the hardest WoW raid to date?" It's just one little raid. Come on, just do it. It's easy. Just make it a job. I didn't know. I didn't know what I was saying. It was kind of like that with Siralim Ultimate when I kept comparing it to Pokemon. And I dove into it again, and I just continued to feel bad that I compared it to Pokemon because it's just not that like at all. Is if anything, the monster catching aspect or raising aspect or whatever, closer to something like Persona, where like you're not supposed to get attached to the basic bitch demon that you have. You're supposed to fuse that demon and make it stronger.
Yeah. You put it in the guillotine.
Yeah, you kill it.
Tie it together to the other fucking monster that you guillotined.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's how you fuse the monsters in 5, I think.
Yeah, you literally a guillotine. Yeah, and like the monsters in Siralim are just like they're vessels for their stats and abilities.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a really good time. I switched up my team and stuff, and there's like spells going off and shit. And it's a very good time. It's a very fun time if you really like doing team, like the build aspect, and also having like 6,000 hours of content and a mindless thing to grind.
I can't. Those kind of like I can play those kind of grindy RPGs only when they're also tied to a story and characters I care about. Like that's why I like Persona, because there's like good story and characters. I need both ends. Yeah. I can't just play a grindy RPG that has nothing else.
It's not even that it's a grind. It's that it's all like, I don't know. It's such a weird thing. Like I have,
or just a dungeon crawler.
Yeah. And like the exclusive purpose is just making a team. That's it.
Yeah, that's not enough for me.
I think it would be more. I mean, it's a matter of like, what do you hide behind the locked doors to get people to play more, to, have the progression. Like, I'm 200 hours deep. I haven't unlocked all of the shit that you need to actually optimize your team. I don't know that I ever will. Like that's a lot. And then you have to grind
like
to
2
get that
Persona
shit.
5s.
It's a fucking lot. The difference is the progress feels faster because my battles are literally just the battle starts and then I win and then the battle ends. Like if you design your team to like turn
you
0.
could play Persona 5 on easy.
Yeah, but then I have to hit more than one button in theory. Sometimes. Okay. No, it's two different things.
Yeah.
If I want to watch a thing, I can just hold my phone in one hand with my thumb on the button. But I transitioned from that. I grabbed Pokemon Shield because with all the Scarlet Violet news and feeling kind of Pokemon-y, that game is much better than my rock bottom expectations, and it exceeded them easily.
Sure.
It doesn't look. I thought it was gonna look like shit, play like shit, feel like shit. It looks good. It's fun. Don't like all the new Pokemon. I wish it wasn't just let me play the fucking game and don't stop me every 30 steps to tell me that there's a sign ahead when I can see the sign on my screen. That shit's annoying, but it's a good time. Like the battling is fine. It's enjoyable. I get what you said about the gyms like losing their shtick like after the first couple or whatever. Like, that really falls off.
It's like we built this whole fucking thing about this old pachinko game or whatever, and then it's like, here's a hallway where you run to the right, and that you can't move the camera at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I mean, there's some jank. I don't know that I'm even gonna. Not even. I do know. Odds are I'm not going to finish that game at all, or even close to, before Scarlet and Violet come out. Because like that's what I'm.
It's pretty. Yeah, we're pretty close to that game coming out.
And like, I don't want to burn my Pokemon urge off and then not play it. I'd rather hold off and play it when everybody else is.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, 'cause it's not like if you pick it up later, it's going to be cheaper.
No, not at all. I picked up Sword and Brilliant Diamond because someone was selling them used in Russia for like a total of $45. I'm like, I'll do 2 Pokemon games for $45. That's reasonable.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's been a good time, and I picked up Splatoon 3. We've played some Splatoon 3. That game is good.
True.
That game is very fun.
It's another It's more Splatoon.
I don't know what changed with me. I also thought 2 was pretty solid, but maybe it was just like, because Ty also picked it up, and we were trying to play together, and that was miserable. And I think that even just turned me off of it entirely. Like, I was so pissed that I couldn't just play. And I never went back. And I tried out. I'm like, I'll dip again on 3. We'll try it, and it clicked. And now I can play it on my own, and it's neat because oftentimes games like that get me huffy. Again, even though I don't want to be. And like, the matches are so short. It's a fucking minute and a half. I don't have time to be huffy. It's over one way or the other. So that's super nice.
I get really sick of the thing where the way they do map rotation every 2 hours. I don't like playing the same map over and over again.
Yeah, that's fair. And I just don't. I'm just here to paint, man. I get my paintbrush, I slap it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like this game just feels like exactly like Splatoon 2 did.
Yeah, no,
that's expansion pass or something. I don't know. Make Salmon Run fucking available all the time in that game, maybe. I don't know.
I think they did now. I think that was one of the. Yeah, I think that's one of the things. Like when they stopped doing whatever shit for it, like they just made it permanently available, so people still playing it didn't have to worry about it.
I booted up too, just because I wanted to see like what gun was I using when I finished playing this, and I was like, oh right, I was just kind of just cycling through as I leveled stuff up.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I was like really struck with like, oh yeah, this like just 2 different levels I could be playing. It still just feels like the same game. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I beat the campaign, which was the first. That was a good time.
I haven't touched that.
What game have you been playing?
So I played the game I was excited about playing was playing the Street Fighter 6 beta.
Did you make a horrific monster character?
I made a very tall, fucking thick boy.
Hell yeah!
Just like
did you like
not like shredded, just like built, very tall. And I didn't like his face because I didn't spend enough time out to make a face I like. So I bought the item where it's just his head is a TV.
Oh yeah, right. The saga item.
Yeah. And I just would run in circles in the lobby.
So I read an interesting little one-off comment on some game site or another, and I wanted to see if you knew what it meant. It said something about like Street Fighter 6 is going to change the way competitive and casual interact, or like something along those lines.
I have no idea what that means.
I thought maybe
by that. I don't know that I agree with that.
I thought maybe it was something with like it was in reference to like the insane combos, right? That's what it was, because people were talking about like Smash Bros. Like the controls are so easy, like at a base level, like you have so few of them, and then you get to like any other fighting game, and then you have an infinite combo, right? Like an infinite list of inputs to create a move. And I thought maybe they did something to like streamline that, and I was like, oh shit! Like I feel like if they did anything to fuck with that, people would be pissed.
I mean, there's an alternate control scheme where instead of having hard, medium, light punch and then hard, medium, light kick, you have just a light, medium, and hard buttons that auto combo through shift, and then there's a special button to like throw a fireball or whatever. And then that works differently, I guess, or something. But like, I played that for like 2 minutes. But I have Street Fighter muscle memory, so like, it was a fucking nightmare. I hated it. I had to get off that control scheme as quickly as possible.
Yeah, no. If you're used to the normal way, that makes sense.
Yeah. Again, even though, like the thing with playing Street Fighter 6 is like, oh, it's like the thing I know, but it's also not like the thing I know, because like the timings for characters and like all these little nuances are so different that it's I have to like learn it fucking all over again, which is like not something I necessarily love because, you know, I put a lot of time into learning other Street Fighters and getting to where I felt good about being able to do stuff, you know, in my own way, and then like feeling like I have to start over can be frustrating. But I get why they do that, because like there are people who are like fucking a million times better than me, who are like their legacy skill is fucking untouchable, so they kind of want to reset that stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't have so many people who are like have been playing this game for like years or whatever. There's still like a new learning curve to it, and learning curves can be fun and stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like I played enough of this beta that I went from feeling like I couldn't do anything to feeling like I could do some stuff with Ken specifically. And like I learned some of the systems, and that was fun. I had a good time. I went from being like feeling like I couldn't walk to like being able to like stand up.
Yeah. Are you like, is it a buy for you when it comes out based on this beta, or don't you know yet?
Yeah. But 5 was a buy, and 5 was kind of fucking garbage. So
Okay. I don't know if it's like a series where you just like do it, or if it.
I'm interested to
if you
see
wait.
the single player stuff, because there's just way more to this game than 5. 5 went so hard in like esports kind of thing, where they didn't put in enough features to make it like feel like a full video game for casual players, and this is like the correction for that, where there's like a ton of stuff and like fun alternate modes and stuff. You can just play fucking Capcom arcade games within this game. Like you could walk up to a cabinet and just play Final Fight online or whatever.
Like based on
the Magic Sword.
Based on you talking about it, like the other bits I've seen, like I think that I might try diving in, because I have been wanting to take another crack at like fighting games, because it's one of those genres where I mean, maybe we've talked about it before, but I've lacked people to play with and specifically against. Like,
yes.
I could either go online and just get my ass kicked, and I just don't feel like doing that. But there's just nobody else playing those at the time that I was even playing a few of them. So
yeah.
Like back in the day.
I mean, even when I fucking like the way, so like the thing that turned me into a Street Fighter player was I had friends in real life who got super into Street Fighter 3 Third Strike on the Xbox port of that, where like that game was already old. And they were ahead of me. So even playing them, I just got my teeth kicked in over and over again by my friends, until eventually like I could do a super move, and then I could do a super move like in combat, like off of another move. Like I just like eventually got better at that game. So I love that game more than any other fighting game because of that experience, but it wasn't like a fun time, particularly at the start. It was like miserable. So
Yeah.
it's also, I'm like wary about wanting to go through that again when like so I played a little bit of Soul Calibur 6, and that's a game that you just pick up and I just have fun. Like just instantly that's a fighting game that's simple enough that just like, oh yeah, you have the one button that attacks forward, you have the one button that attacks to the side, so if someone's sidestepping you, that's the one to hit, and then you have like your tricky kick button, and then you have a button for block. And that's it.
Yeah.
And you can play as 2B from Nier Automata in that game, so... Or, back in the day, you could play as, like, Link or Spawn.
Like, man.
My friend had the Xbox version, so I got super into playing Spawn back in the day first. That was my in.
That fucking gif of Link riding on Ivy, slapping her ass with the sword. I lived that shit with my brother.
Yeah. But the skill caps on that are not as high as with Street Fighter. When you go through that process of overcoming that learning curve, like learning how to do a thing in the fighting game, that's like when you get a taste of that's an addictive feeling, because you just suddenly the thing that was like impossible feels so much better.
Yeah.
But it takes time and effort, and sometimes like can't be arsed.
Oh, totally.
But so like in Street Fighter 3, my character that I finally came around on was Chun-Li. Partially because of that fucking Daigo moment. Just watching that when he parried her ultimate, but just seeing how strong that ultimate is. And I just like fell in love with playing that character. But then in like later Street Fighters, I do not like Chun-Li as much. She's not as fucking overpowered. her timings and button combinations are slightly different, so it throws me off, and I'd rather play a different character. Turns out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like I tried Chun-Li in the beta. I was like just in Street Fighter. So I gravitate more towards like Ryu and Ken just because like they have the simplest things. I have legacy skill by just knowing how to do a fucking fireball or whatever. And in 5, Ryu just seemed way better, and Ken had ugly banana hair, and this time, they gave Ken back his like fire shoryukens, fire uppercuts, and so I like Ken a little better. And Ken was the one I was playing the most.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'll check it out.
This new one has like this mechanic where it's like slightly different on every character, but like for Ken, it's just like you hit 2 hards and you go into like this slow attack that just has armor, and like so you just eat a hit and then you knock the other person, and it just if they're in the middle of hitting you with an attack, you just take them out and then you can combo into them. And that's kind of a thing people hate, because like at a certain skill level, it's just every match is just about that interaction. Like if you get you get to a higher level, it becomes about other stuff because people know how to play around it or whatever. Yeah. But you definitely can get caught in this skill level where it's just about this every time, because like every character has this thing. And it's so powerful, which is like it's fine for high level because like there are workarounds and stuff, but you can get like it is like a vortex because it's so strong.
Yeah.
And if you never are like good enough or like want to work past that, it can kind of be that's like a point of friction I see within this game as it's designed. It's like it has this extremely powerful mechanic that every character has access to. That's just people could just get sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like blue in Magic.
Exactly. I mean, like it's extremely, I think of Magic in terms of like people like encounter a thing and they're just like, that's fucking bullshit and terrible, and now I'm done with. I don't want to play against it.
You mean any time my opponent plays a card? Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Fucking
Exactly.
turn 1 island. How dare you?
Yeah. Pretty much. For me, the thing that broke it in Street Fighter V was, for whatever reason, the netcode would work, and I would go to throw someone, and they would throw me instead. Like, every time.
That fucking pissed me off.
And I couldn't die. I hit a limit. I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
That was a cathartic moment going from Halo 3 to Halo Reach. Don't know what it was, but in Halo 3, like, me and a person would line up in ways that we should have melee'd each other to death, like a trade, and it would never fucking happen. I would always die. Got into Reach, and I was trading with people, and it felt so good. I didn't even care that it was, like, just a trade. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, when two people grab each other at the same time in Street Fighter, you're supposed to, you, like, cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Like, in 6, you, like, fucking blow apart. You get, like, both get, like, knocked back. And that's, like, you know, has to do with timing windows and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And all the complications of netcode or whatever. Yeah. And, like, I don't love, like, I don't think 6 feels as good as Street Fighter 3. Just in terms of, like, how heavy, like, the amount of slowness between moves or whatever. I don't know, like, there's just, like, game feel stuff that I don't think it feels as good. But, you know, that is what it is. It's the new game, though.
I mean, I'll also be real. The character creation is a big point for me.
Sure.
I need to be able to create both hotties and monstrosities. Mm-hmm. It's all I want. I saw some of the fucked up shit people were making for characters. I'm like, I need this game.
There are definitely saw plenty of fucked up things in the lobby.
I'm like, how fucking, because I knew you were playing it. I'm like, how great would it be to kick Hank's ass with like this? That'd be great. That's what I wanted to.
I don't know like what the situation, because I don't think you could, in the beta at least, there wasn't a multiplayer thing with the created characters. I don't think
There would have
I assume there is.
There has to be.
I assume there's a mode where you do that, but I don't know. Because those are mostly for single player, and they're your avatar for running around the lobby.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to kick your ass with Penis Man, so, like, buckle up. Can't stop me.
Unless I can stop you every time from beating me up.
You won't stop me ever. I have enough faith in my skills to...
Okay.
I don't have enough faith in my drive.
Yeah.
I have enough faith in my skills. I know that I'd be good enough to progress. I just get very lazy about plateauing. Mm-hmm. So it depends on if my plateau is low or high.
The thing I will say about me, Street Fighter, I get very good at bullying players who are not as good as me. There's like a thing, like you're online and you're just like, oh, this person is worse than me. Oh, I can like just fucking make their life a nightmare. Because like my ceiling is not that high. So someone who's like lower than me, I'm like, oh, I like smell it.
Yeah.
Fucking bully the shit out of them.
It's
very funny.
I'm going to go from not being able to do a single combo. Fun fact, I've never in my life, except for the fucking Spirit Bomb or whatever in Budokai 3, I have never in my life gotten any combo in any fighting game. I look at them. I fucking looked at them while playing Soul Calibur 2. And like, there was some other 2D fighter. I don't know what it would have been. But I remember looking at shit and it's like, okay, I do these inputs. And I would just do them and I would just do the, like, I would crouch 5 times and then like move to the left a little bit and then just do a normal kick when I hit the kick button. I'm like, where the fuck is, what? I tried it at such a very, like, I'm like, okay, Maybe I'm doing it like too fast and I'm like fucking one of them up and it messes it up. No. Okay, well now I'm doing it too slow. I'm just crouching like an asshole, doing nothing.
Mm-hmm. Ready to get thrown 5 times in a row or whatever.
It got to the point where I wondered if there was like a button that I was supposed to. I thought there was like a shift key. I'm like, there has to be something.
Uh-huh.
Just nope. It's gotta fucking get good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah, there are certain moves I've never really figured, like charge moves I've never really figured out.
Fucking
where you slide from like left to right without hitting down at all. On controller, at least, like impossible for me. So I just don't play charge characters. Easy.
I mean,
problem solved.
Bitch, if the instructions are left diagonal down or like left down right A, like I'm still not getting. I've never gotten a single one. It's just, but that was the old me. That was me. Sure. Like, I'm trying to think of like the last fighting game I actually bothered to try input, like a fighting game with that shit in it. Like 2000
Star Wars Masters of Terraskasi. Because that didn't really have.
It would have been.
I had like press down 3 times and press an attack button, and then a thing will happen. Like the combos of that were very inorganic.
It had to be Soul Calibur 4, but like after that game peaked, because I got in I found like something that was just spammy. And I beat the shit out of some
Darth Vader and Yoda, right?
That sounds correct. I'm pretty sure it was 4. Because I played a little. It was 4. Because I played Skullgirls, but that was a case of me not doing my research, and I didn't know that it was that kind of fighting game. So I thought it was going to be something like closer to Smash. So I like started up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm out. Peace. So yeah, it's been like a decade.
Uh-huh.
Now a game that I have been improving at. Super Auto Pets.
Great.
Fucking so what I mainly want to talk about, they have not removed the 50-50 limit, so you're shit out of luck. No reason for you to come back.
No. Not when I have Ability Arena.
Yeah, the fucking
higher
opposite,
level of complexity.
The opposite. Higher level of complexity. What the fuck are you talking about? It's like going from 2D to 5D.
Well,
I took a look at that game and I'm like, I'm out. There's so much shit here. It's even more.
Well, so it's different for you
because it's.
I do think it's only like a level of complexity, but if you don't play Dota, it's so much information.
Why would you shoot yourself in the? That makes it a bad game in that sense. Why would you shoot yourself in the foot?
Not for a Dota 2 mod. That's fine. Everyone who's playing that has played Dota.
But they could get more.
It's not a retail product. It's a mod in Dota 2.
Bad mod. No,
it's a great mod. What a tremendous mod.
I checked it out. And then, I watched the tutorial first because I'm like, if this is anything close to Underlords or whatever, like it's gonna be a no, and it looks so much worse.
Like it is similar to Underlords in that you can The reason I got into it easier is because you can shortcut a lot of the baseline knowledge by knowing stuff about Dota.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
but then there's a whole learning curve on top of that. Like, even if you know Dota, it's still completely overwhelming.
Yeah,
and there's still a lot to just knowledge to learn and stuff.
Yeah, Super Auto Pets is like the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Mainly the thing I want to talk about is like, man, the developers are doing like such a good job. Like they're adding shit that's cool. I don't know if I talked about their the second expansion pack, because I keep saying third, but it's a free pack, and then there was a $5 pack, and then the third pack they made $10. And it had like a bunch of, it's like the equivalent of adding instant spells and magic. Like they added a bunch of shit. That was quite different. And it's just good. And now they've done like, they have like a weekly pack where it picks like random shit, and with like some exceptions, so it makes a little bit of sense most of the time. And like you can replay your last watch a replay of your last fights for like Hall of Fame stuff. And I don't know, they're just doing a lot of things that I think make a lot of sense, and they're like managing to, I guess, focus on like the people who play the game 24 hours a day, and then like the people who just play the free version like once in a while. Like it feels pretty well balanced, which it's simple, so I would hope so, but I don't know. I've just been enjoying the fact that it's just fun, and nothing is shit on it yet.
No, it's shit on itself because it limited your ability to count to 50.
As someone who likes writing structured concrete poetry, like that's fine. I work well within limits.
I want synergy. The point of synergies is to fucking break shit and go wild. What are you doing?
You can still do that.
Nah.
You can definitely break shit, just not by getting your unit to 12 trillion health and attack.
Terrible.
Yeah. Also, I hadn't played. I've been doing like weekly pack stuff, which is like where the cool kids hang out, and then I've been doing like the expansion pack stuff, and sort of to get an achievement. You get a sticker of a pet for getting it to level 3, and then you get a ribbon on a pet if you get it to level 3, and then also win 10 games with it. So like win and actually win. So I went back to the free pack. I didn't like, it didn't register that like babies are playing the free pack, right? Like that's where the kids are, because they're not spending money. I have been fucking destroying people, and it has done wonders for my self-esteem. I'm like a king.
Look, if I just wanted to destroy people, I would just play Marvel Snap, which as far as I can tell, particularly early on, is just literally like an on-rails experience of a card game.
Yeah, I saw you.
Like your number of choices are pretty low, and I just like win every game.
That's hilarious. Is there anything else with auto?
Like I've played like 4 hours of that, and I've lost like twice.
That's how they get you, man. They're just pulling. They're reeling.
Well, that's
you
the
in.
thing. It's like feels like, yeah, this is like. I'm like, how many of the people that are pretending to put me up to are bots? Because like this thing is clearly built for me to win over and over again, so that I'm like more into it, or like to like baby players extremely until they're addicted. But I just find like it's like the progression of like getting more stuff to do is so slow. It's like truly mindless. It feels.
Yeah. Yeah,
I haven't even unlocked Venom yet. Slow. Come on, what are you doing? That's the thing. I did unlock Carnage, but he's like a weird. He's like a card for like building a deck, and I like don't have the pieces to support him. I need Wolverine. So I've seen a Wolverine card, and that's like got synergy with Carnage, but I don't have it.
So the one thing that I wish. I mean, it's not a card game. It's going back to not even just auto pets, but like auto battlers in general. Even ability arena. I wish there was something else that did like Super Auto Pet's main feature is that you don't have to do the versus thing, right? It's arena, so like you can take your time, make decisions. You can drop out in the middle of the game and come back. Right? Yeah, it has the versus mode, which they've had to balance some stuff around because like. Some of it was just fucking, like it's just people only doing one thing every time. But like I think the fact that the arena mode button is like 8 times the size of the verse mode, like that's what they're focusing on, and it's great. I fucking love that experience. I don't want to wait around for people. That's ridiculous. If you set this shit to like 250% play, you can finish an entire game in like 3 minutes. If you know what
No,
you're
no,
doing.
I get
and
it.
stuff.
But like, it's because that game's so simple that they can do that, right? Like a more complicated game that like doing that would be harder.
I don't know that it would be harder. Maybe it would be less worth it. I don't know. I don't know how it would line up because my understanding is that they take other actual teams that people have built at the same stage you're at, and they like the server snapshots them or whatever, and then puts you against them at whatever point. So it's just pulling from a pool of stuff that's exists within that pack or that weekly pack or whatever.
Yeah.
So it seems like
But I
it
mean,
should
like,
be doable
like
in other things.
the way like general auto chess and ability running works is like a big part of the game is the pool that everybody in this game is drafting from. So that like you don't want to overdraft the thing that's good. You don't necessarily want to overdraft it because everyone's going to be picking that thing, and there's going to be less available, and you're going to be able to upgrade it less.
Yeah. So that. I mean, I think honestly,
which is like the thing, and like sometimes you just say, well, sacrificing that is worth it to make things more convenient, like the way like leagues for Magic drafting work, where you draft against a pod, but then once you play, you're just playing against general populace or whatever.
Yeah. It's
just because it was like
preference.
in terms of like allowing people to play Magic on their own time, it was so much more convenient. So
really,
I accept it.
It's mostly just why can't they do both? Like, I don't understand why. If it is truly just taking a snapshot of decks that exist, or decks, I mean, I guess I'm still kind of thinking like Battlegrounds terms. Like, if I want to not, it's a completely different thing from like knowing how to draft properly against other people, right? If I want to ignore that part, like, I should be able to. And honestly, I just think it's so nice being able to like, oh, well, I could do another game of Battlegrounds, but I only have like 15 minutes instead of 45. So like I just it's a thing where I wish they would just add it. I'm not asking for exclusively that, cuz like doing a versus thing would be fun. I don't do it in auto pets, but like I would love to do versus stuff like in Battlegrounds where like me and you could do, or I guess would that be a Storybook Brawl when we were in the same pool, or Battlegrounds? I forgot a Storybook
Brawl probably.
Yeah. Like that sort of shit is fun, but I don't know. I just like the option, and I wish more.
Well, I think both
things would do it.
Both. I think both have that. But.
Yeah. So, I don't maybe for something like Underlords or whatever, it is just like too much to implement. But like for something like Hearthstone, it seems like it wouldn't be. I don't know. But it's fun. I really like that aspect.
Yeah. I don't know that some of those other games care enough to.
Oh no,
implement that
I'm
feature.
sure. I feel like people would bitch.
And I don't know. And I like the one that I would that's like popular enough to like warrant it would probably be TFT. And I think that one has more real time. I don't know enough about how TFT works. How easy or hard it would be.
I just know it
because again, that's the one that like I don't have the knowledge base to shortcut me on. So
yeah. I've been playing more of it, and it's fun. I do still miss like Storybook Brawl. Like I miss that style of shit, but NFTs.
I don't even know if they've done that.
Did they go? If they went back on it, that would be nice.
Well, I think it's still on Steam, so that means they can't have implemented.
Oh yeah, true.
But I feel like they like completely destroyed their community with that stuff. So I don't know how much of the player base they have left.
It pissed off a lot of people. But
let me check Steam charts. I'm curious.
Also, it's still a bit soft, but it is getting rather late for me. Just FYI.
Sure. Yeah, their numbers are still kind of
normal
where they were. Yeah.
Oh, so everybody made a stink and then just turned the game back on. I see.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to look into it. Like maybe they went back on shit.
Yeah, I kind of don't care.
Yeah, no, I don't care at all.
I hadn't thought about it until we were having this conversation. So,
yeah, same.
like, I might have if Ability Arena hadn't happened, I might care more because I like hadn't found another auto chess. But Ability Arena is actually more what I wanted at this point, which is a deeper game.
Yeah. Well, if they ever make it more accessible, hit me up.
Yeah, if they make a standalone version that like redoes all that stuff and doesn't, so it's not as 1-to-1 with Dota, maybe.
Yeah. I see your Jets Packer game thing.
Yeah, so
What's
I
that
haven't,
about?
I haven't watched football in fucking forever. And I guess I think it was last week or something. I watched football, and it happened to be the Jets versus the Packers. And it struck me. I should mention it. It's because of you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Who is that? The one where we lost?
Yes, you did lose. The Jets won.
That's about right. I think we were 3-1 before that. I haven't been keeping up.
And it was just very funny watching this game where both Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers looked terrible. It's just like these are two teams with bad quarterbacks on the opposite ends. Like Zach Wilson being a young quarterback who just really didn't have it in him to make good throws, and an older quarterback who was like getting hit on every play and just looked like he would get hit and just looked miserable. Just like looked like an old man getting put down. And he had like hurt his thumb the week before. And he's good enough. He made some good throws. But it's just like he was getting hit a lot. And it was like just going down, like slow to get up. And then the Jets and it was like, this is to the extent that like I believe in the Jets having an identity. To me, the way this is like, oh, the Jets are like good, is because they like blocked a punt and scored off that. Like, yes, this is how you generate offense as the Jets. You cannot rely on your fucking offense. You have to find the points somewhere else.
That's hilarious. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
It was just funny.
Years.
Aaron Rodgers just seemed old and washed.
I mean,
kind of in that game.
I don't know. I thought he was still like okay, but I guess we.
I mean, both teams were 3-2 going into that game, but it was like they kept the narrative was like, oh, it's Green Bay, it's looking bad. They're only 3-2. The Jets are like, oh, they're this up and coming team. They're 3-2.
That's hilarious.
And they kept trying to like talk about like the quarterbacks, like oh yeah, Zach Wilson. He like his idol was Aaron Rodgers. Like they were like in some camp together, and Aaron Rodgers said good things to him or whatever, encouraging things, and they keep in contact. In this game where like they both looked pretty fucking bad.
Man.
It was like way more of like, particularly in the first half, it was like way more like a defensive thing. Although it was more like the Jets' defense is good, and the Jets' offense is bad.
Yeah.
And the Packers are just kind of okay. And like
As
lining up
usual.
with that in certain ways. It was just very funny to me at the time. And I haven't watched a football game in years, so.
Yeah, man.
It was just a thing.
I need to check. I brought my Packers jersey here because in Russia the goal was to kind of keep my head down. Mm-hmm. So I never wore it, but like here don't have to give as much of a fuck. So I was like, yeah, I'll wear it on game days.
Oh man, there was like a clip of one of the Jets players wearing the cheese head thing after the game, just loving it that they won. Oh, it's so funny.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's a dope. That's the good shit.
But yeah, that's really all I had to say about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip. I had lady-led heavy metal here, but that's more of like a thing. So I'm just gonna pass on that. It'll come up later. I mean, honestly, it'll come up if we do like a best shit of the year discussion.
Sure.
So basically, I've been listening to a lot of traditional sounding heavy metal with ladies. That shit's good. And somehow, for some reason, since the fucking 80s, like, there was a divide happen. So, like, now it used to just be, like, heavy metal. And now you have to, like, specifically fucking search, like, heavy metal with female vocalists. Because, like, people consider it differently and it sucks. So I've been, like, seeking it out and having a great time. Otherwise, my last thing is I checked out the comic Monstress. Specifically because I saw a picture. I don't know if it was a cover. Maybe it was like just one of the like chapter artwork things. And like it is just fucking berserk. I'm like, this chick is missing her left arm. There's like a demon wolf dog looking thing in the background. Her other, like, she also has like a, like, was she using a sword? Or she was holding some weapon and just like kind of looked pissy. I'm like, it's just berserk with a chick. I'm in. And I think it's pretty good. It does some shit with like old gods, magic, beings, and then humans, like setting up a lot of cool world building shit. And the plot is pretty interesting. The writing surprised me because it's by I think it's two women working on it. One of them I think just writes and the other one does the art. If I recall, there might be some overlap. I forget. But the main writer was like a fantasy novelist. So it's like is pretty dense and there's a lot of world building shit and like just a lot of characters, just a lot. And I was kind of into it. And then I noticed that it wasn't finished. And I'm like, this just doesn't seem like I'm going to catch up and it's going to be great. And I'm going to want more of it. And then by the time more of it comes out, I'm going to have forgotten all of this. Yeah. And I kind of realized that and just, I've faded on it. Like, I don't, if it, at some point, if it's done, like, maybe I'll come back. But that's exactly what happened to me with that webcomic that I was into, Unsounded. Dense ass world building, but just if you even skip a week of reading, you're just behind, and it just was exhausting. I'm like, I'll do other stuff. So I think it's really, really good though. If people want like a more of a high fantasy comic and they want some pretty solid characters and some really, really interesting concepts with like old gods and magic users and all that, I highly recommend it. But it's just not a thing that I could keep up with if it's not all out at once. So that's unfortunate.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my pile is depleted, man.
Do you want to skip Magic Talk?
I'd like to skip Magic Talk. It is literally 2 hours of salt pile. It's like 12:30 a.m.
You don't want to go for the third hour?
If you want this to be our final episode, then we can do it. I can pull that trigger now.
No, I don't even really have... I have plenty I could say, but I don't really have anything I need to say. Magic is fine.
I can always talk about Magic.
Honestly, like, the community is salty about stuff in ways I'm like, just play with proxies and calm down. Yeah. Wizards is releasing a stupid product. Magic 30th Anniversary is just dumb. Like, the cost of that thing, you can literally just buy 3 boosters of Revised.
It's $1,000, right?
Yes.
I could buy a fucking... That's like... I need a computer. Like, that's fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah, yeah. But even if you're gonna overspend on magic cards, you can buy like actual old magic cards for that price
Yeah.
instead of fake proxies.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a stupid thing, and even like the financial people are like, "Who is this for?" And the answer is, it's for. There are two ways it's for. It's for people that open on dumb YouTube videos, which I don't even know if like. I feel more like that's like the kind of people who open Pokemon cards would be more into that kind of thing.
Magic still has it, but as far as I know, or last I knew, it was like more the people who are splurging for the old packs and then getting a Black Lotus and their hand is fucking shaking as they're putting it into the thing and they can't breathe.
Yeah.
But
again,
new packs,
you can actually
I don't know.
just buy packs of revised if you're saying this fucking much. And the other thing is, like, for Wizards to run events, like, have, like, it, because they don't have any more beta packs to run a beta draft or whatever. So they can run fancy events where, like, people are drafting with these.
Yeah.
Is, like, the other, like, the reason they would make this product is so that they can have it in like, a bunch of it in reserve for to use for stuff because they don't have enough old Magic product themselves.
Just
and other than that, like, nobody should buy it. It's just like, it's not a thing anyone should buy.
It's fucking ridiculous.
And if you see someone who has the cards, you should bully them. That was the other thing I heard that I was like, yeah.
What if they're proxies of the proxy cards, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that shit's silly.
But, like, and, like, the people who are, like, most upset about it, I'm, like, kind of annoyed at, because I'm, like, you're believing things about Wizards that are just, like, they're just a company owned by Hasbro. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not, like, good, but, you know, look at it the right way. Like, it's actually just a stupid thing. It's just dumb.
Yep. It's absurd. Now, okay, I don't want to talk fucking Magic, but, like, the Junji Ito shit is top tier. That needs to be said.
Sure.
Like, the fact that they
that
did
one
it,
secret lair.
that's so cool that I would never guess that would happen.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like it.
My only thing, like, those aren't cards that I need.
No.
And I try to stay to buying secret layers of cards I would use or want for a deck or something. And, like, I don't need I have a Doomsday.
Yeah, no.
I don't
even if I
need
was
a Thoughtseize.
I mean, even if I was in,
but it's very, like, so that was like, this is very cool. I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, a mature decision from a Magic player, no less.
Yeah, man. And I'm all excited about Brothers War.
Yeah,
that stupid 2-card Urza Planeswalker. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that shit's pretty solid.
That meld shit. Give me it. That's dumb in the fun way. And now, like, I was listening to, like, one of the Magic podcasts I still listen to, and they were like all huffy, like, this is a terrible competitive card. I'm like, fucking calm down. This is just fun.
Fun's not allowed, Hank. It's only competitive.
That's why I have to stop listening to Magic podcasts. People who have to talk about this shit all the time, they just, like, stop having fun with it. I'm like, just quit. What are you doing?
Dude, we can make our own Magic podcast and have fun with it. And then we can make a little our lead into the first episode will be like, as soon as we stop having fun, we're fucking out. And boom. Then we have a free pass. We can talk about fun cards instead of cards that are hidden sleeper hits that will dominate your EDH group.
It's called Black Market Connections. It's very good. It's a very powerful card.
It's called that red card that separates the table into two groups because a river is running through the battlefield.
Or you mean Base Bellerin.
Yeah, the new one that's also fucked up. Okay, you baited me into talking Magic. How fucking dare you?
Look, I got us up to 2 hours.
Fucker. Every time.
But I didn't take us to 3. I could have got longer. We're good.
I took the bait like a...
Salt Circle Podcast, gmail.com, Salt Circle Pod on Twitter, anchor.fm/Salt Circle. I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
I'm not on Twitter, but, you know.
Peace.